Hi everyone, this is Jim Gass with SpliceNet here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Once again, doing another video for No Law Firm Left Behind. Today I've got Jeff Hanson. Jeff, I'll tell you what, I do a lot of these videos, but I've always found it's easier for me just to let everybody else introduce themselves. So Jeff, please, by all means, introduce yourself.
So I'm Jeff Hanson with Trust IT. We're located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and serve southeast Louisiana, which is Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Lafayette areas.
So Jeff, are you guys working from home? Is your whole crew working from home right now, your whole team?
Yes, we have some overseas staff that have been with us. So they work overseas and of course always have. And then we've had techs here in Baton Rouge that were working here locally and now have all moved to work from home mode.
You know, working remotely is really difficult on everyone. I mean, a lot of people just are not used to it right now. Is your team, since your team is working remote, is there a particular challenge that your team has or a particular challenge that you can talk about and how you guys solved it for your team or for your clients?
What we're doing now is we're looking at how do we help them deploy two big technologies, which is one, a team chat, which would be sort of like a Slack or a Microsoft Teams. Those are the two big options. So we're going to our clients and saying, hey, how are you communicating with your staff that are now at home? And have you thought about those things? And that's sort of like the next step because they've all figured out how to work from home, how to use the technology we wouldn't put in place. And now the next step is, oh, okay, yeah, now we've got to kind of bring everybody together. How do we do that? How do we stay in communication? How do we keep up morale? How do we make sure that our staff are working and that they're on proper tasks? So we're going back to them now and saying, hey, let us show you what, say, Slack can do for you and demo it for them. And then the other thing we're also doing is looking at Zoom and showing them how you can use Zoom to do maybe morning huddles or end of day huddles or end of week huddles so that you can still have that environment where your team's separated, but using technology, you're still close together, quickly able to talk to each other, quickly able to see that everybody's on task and reach out and help people where their needs are. You know, what we'd encourage businesses to do is do a Zoom, what we call a huddle. That's what we do for our team, a huddle in the morning before you start your day, that you figure out what are your tasks for the day, what is everybody working on, and do the same thing, do an end of day huddle where you say, hey, everybody, let's jump on the Zoom call and let's finish out the day and figure out where we're at, what we accomplished, and what do we need to do tomorrow. And for us, that helps, and my techs love it because it kind of brings us back together and we all get on the same page before we start the day. And then at the end of the day, we wrap up, hey, what challenges do we have? And we're ready to hit the ground tomorrow morning. And we think something simple like that really helps.
We call that bookends is what we call it in our business.
There you go.
So I really like that you guys are taking it from a, not necessarily a Microsoft perspective, but it sounds like a more agnostic perspective. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if a client has Office 365 and they're going to start out, we may put them on Teams. Whereas if they're not, maybe they've got a little bit on Office 365, we're going to move them to Slack because it's, you know, it's free, it's easy to deploy. There is a paid version, but not everybody needs it. So, but what we're finding is clients don't understand how those things work and how they can leverage them. So because we can do a quick, 10 minute with them and say, hey, let us show you what Slack does. And set up a little, we'll get your own account, I'll join to it, and you and I will Slack, and I'll show you the power of what it does. And then they see it, and they're like, oh, that's great, we need that. Mm-hmm. And then they roll it out, and they're just using it all day, right? So that's where we come in, that we show them these technologies that they're not aware of that can help really make up the gap of what they're missing now with this whole work from home environment.
So have you, now I know in our business, the whole idea behind No Law Firm Left Behind is about giving law firms and businesses the ability to reach out and get pro bono assistance. I find that we're hand-holding a lot more than we ever have before. We're deploying free tools from our vendors for remote access. Heck, we were doing Microsoft pro bono Microsoft Teams implementations for years before. Just as a lead-in to build partnerships and relationships. Do you find that you're doing similar with businesses right now in that you're hand-holding a lot more or doing some free services or free products?
We don't find that we're having to handhold as much. I mean, once we initially, yes, because we have to, typically what we do is we'll connect to a user's PC and show them how to remote into their office computer and what that looks like and how they connect and how they disconnect, or like I said, how to use Slack or how to use Zoom. So once we kind of do that one time with the end users, they've got it. But what we are finding is that we're offering this to the Baton Rouge area community at no charge. So what we're doing is any work we're doing to provide our clients the ability, or non-clients, to work from home, whether it be just remoting into their computers or implementing Slack, Teams, or Zoom, we're doing that at no charge, right? Because we want to help the Baton Rouge community, Southeast Louisiana community, as much as we can, because everybody's got a lot of anxiety right now and trying to figure out how this all works. And then they're also trying to think about, well, what is this costing me, right? So that's just more stress. So if we can take that cost stress off their plate, that helps them.
So what you're telling me is exactly what No Law Firm Left Behind is all about. Providing assistance to law firms around the country, and in your area in particular, so that they can keep their doors open, so that they can keep their staff employed, and so that they can serve their legal customers. Is that really pretty much what I just heard?
That's what we're trying to do. Is we want to make it to where businesses are able to move forward and make it through the other side of this current situation we're in.
Okay, well, listen, Jeff, I really appreciate your time. I know you've got a lot to do, a lot of people to go help, and a lot of customers to serve today. Real quick, if our viewers want to find you, want to get more information about you, do me a favor, tell them your name, your title again, the name of the business, and give them your email address and your phone number.
Sure. So the company name is Trust IT, and our website is at www.trustitllc.com. So the simple way to reach us is just send an email to help@trustitllc.com, or they can call us at 225-250-1135.
Jeff, it's been great. I really appreciate you doing this with us.
I appreciate it, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.